Now we learn about the fourth stage of labor. Before I go to the discussion of fourth stage of labor, let me make you understand that in the third stage of labor has been very smoothly or which has been very normal. The mother was not suffering from any comorbidities and there were no complications of third stage of labor, which can be like postpartum hemorrhage, shock, amniotic fluid embolism. So we do not expect any problems or complication to arise in fourth stage of labor. But still, though we don't expect in fourth stage of labor, but there can be situations where in spite of the fact third stage was very normal, there were no problem which arose, there can be some problem in the fourth stage of labor. Now to make you understand what is fourth stage of labor, let me make you understand that this is a very recent concept incorporated, because what used to happen, the woman delivers and the mother and baby is left, and as a result the midwife or the obstetrician do not go and visit them. So mothers used to have postpartum hemorrhage, retention of urine, and babies may suffer from hypothermia or aspiration. So this fourth stage of labor has been incorporated in order to prevent all these problems. So let us see what is fourth stage of labor. Now this starts from the time placenta and membranes are expelled till 1 hour. So that means once the third stage is over, from that time for 1 hour we are very vigilant, we are observing the mother and the baby. And this hour immediately after delivery is critical and has been called as the golden hour. Now golden hour, as the name suggests, that means it is very precious. There can be problems which may become irreversible. So the objective of this is to observe the mother for PPH, shock, and the baby for difficulty in feeding, for initiating feeding, hypothermia, aspiration. Now, so we need to do some assessment in the mother and the baby. So let us see in the mother what all assessment we are going to do. In relation to the physical, every mother after delivery, her vitals should be checked, because suddenly there is output, the cardiac output changes, the blood volume reduces. As a result, the woman can go in shock. Her pulse may become feeble. So observation of the vital signs. The uterus ideally should be contracted and it should be 1 to 2 fingers below the umbilicus, and lochia should be slight to moderate. That means the amount of lochia should be somewhere from slight to moderate in amount. Bladder not distended. That means we expect every woman after delivery should be passing urine. The perineum intact. Now by this I mean even the episiotomy is given, there can be vulval hematoma or there can be swelling, there can be bleeding from the episiotomy. So we expect that the perineum should be intact. The breast should be secretory. It may not be secreting plenty of milk, but yes, few drops of milk can be seen and can be, if we put the baby on the mother, it can be observed or it can be secreted. Then talking about the psychological assessment, now mother's emotions may vary from exhaustion to happiness. See, every mother is very happy to see her baby born, and this goes very true for the primiparas. They are waiting eagerly for their baby to be born. So most of them will be feeling very happy, very elated. They may not feel tired, but in some they may be feeling exhausted and tired. So, and another observation or what assessment can be done, that some mothers may like to rest, others may like to interact their baby, they may like to breastfeed, they may like to cuddle the baby, they may like to hold the baby, they may like to make the baby sleep next to them, hold them close to their chest. And another thing what we observe, acceptance or refusal. Now sometimes if the mother has delivered second or third female baby, one can see the mother may refuse to accept this baby, and she may not even breastfeed her baby, or she may just ignore the baby. That may not be observed in all, but yes, some mothers we can observe this, because she may not accept that she has got the female baby again. So what is to be done? What is the implementation? So the midwife should perform complete assessment of vital signs. That means observing the BP, pulse, respiration, any bleeding, observation of any bleeding, any hematoma, bladder every 15 minutes for the first 1 hour. Now, when I say bladder, means we expect that every woman should pass urine within half an hour of delivery. But if this does not happen, we should tell the mother to drink hot drink, to go to the washroom, go to the toilet and try to empty the bladder. Then next 2 hours it should be 30 minutes, and another 2 hours it should be hourly. That means every 1 hour we should do this assessment. Then provide comfort measures. Now when I say provide comfort measures, it means that after the delivery, most of the mothers would feel cold. They may like to have a blanket or a hot drink, hot tea. So if she is given that, it gives a soothing effect. Now, some hospitals have a policy that they give the first cup of tea after the woman has delivered the baby from the hospital. But after that, they expect the relatives to bring it. So depending from the hospital to hospital, this can be adopted. Then some women may like to have ice packs on the perineal swelling. That means if there is swelling at the perineum, some mother may feel comfortable if the ice packs are given to them. Then we also need to give perineal wash or perineal care. Now this again will depend from hospital to hospital. Some places Dettol lotion, other places Savlon, and in some hospital betadine wash is given. And in many hospitals this is a routine that in some hospitals the night nurses may give it, some hospitals every shift it is given, but perineal wash must be given at least for the first 24 hours by the midwife. And after that, I'm talking of normal delivery, and after cesarean section it may be required for 48 hours because the woman may have a urinary catheter. So depending on the condition of the woman, depending on whether it is normal delivery or cesarean section, perineal wash should be given. And once the woman can do it herself, we can just give her the Dettol, Savlon, betadine, whatever is being practiced in the hospital, to carry to the washroom. And once she passes urine, she should clean the private parts with any of these lotions. Then feeding, initiating breastfeeding. Now ideally within half an hour for normal vaginal delivery and within 1 hour after cesarean section. Now, even baby, if putting the baby to the breast, it may initiate the breastfeeding. Just few drops of milk also is enough to initiate breastfeeding. So we must encourage all mothers to put their baby to the breast. This will initiate the process of breastfeeding and support the mothers. See, after cesarean section within 1 hour, it is very difficult for the mother to feed her baby herself. So what we need to do, either give her side-lying position, put the baby prone on the abdomen, or laterally the baby can be put, but we need to support the mother, supervise the breastfeeding, and also find out her knowledge about breastfeeding. That breastfeeding has to be done from one breast at one feeding session and from the second breast at the second feeding session. Then observation of the color and the temperature. Sometimes we may need to check the temperature by the thermometer, but just simply touching the baby's feet and the abdomen tells us that baby's temperature is normal. And the color, we can see the baby's color of the skin, color of the abdomen, limbs. It should not be blue, it should be pink. Then observation of aspiration. Now sometimes when the breastfeeding is initiated, the mother may put the baby flat or in supine position. So there can be a possibility of aspiration if proper burping is not being done. So the midwife has to be observant to see that no aspiration takes place. Then passage of urine and stool. So normally the baby, if doesn't pass urine till 24 hours, one need not worry. But most of the babies will pass urine along with the stool. So we need to ask the mother that when he or she passed stool, did you see the nappy was completely wet, or did you observe the baby pass urine? If not, if within 24 hours baby has not passed urine, then we need to adopt other measures like sprinkling water, opening the tap. All these things may initiate the passage of urination. So today we learnt about the management of third stage of labor and the fourth stage of labor. So fourth stage basically means observing the mother and the baby meticulously, religiously for 1 hour, so that any problem which arises can be noticed early and baby and mother can be saved. Thank you.